So this is gonna take me hours to sort out. Come on! And it appears to be hooked up backwards. Welcome guys to an epic adventure you've been waiting to see on this channel. As you may know, we've been wanting to do the Great Loop. We purchased a Silverton about 3 years ago to restore and refit for the Great Loop. Unfortunately, the process is just taking way too long, and we've been slowly realizing that this boat is probably not the right fit. We've looked at several boats throughout the process of refitting this boat, and we finally found one that actually fits the bill close to perfect. It's a 1987 Marine Trader Tradewinds 43. It's not perfect, and it's actually kind of far from it. My ultimate dream was actually to get a trawler to do this, but if you know anything about boats and trawlers, they're pretty darn expensive. This particular boat belonged to my friend Afon's uncle down in the St. Pete area. Last year it got tossed around a little bit from Hurricane Helene and Milton. The damage isn't bad, but it is there and it's something that needs to be addressed. Not only it got tossed around a little bit, they lost the marina space that it was parked in. So now they just have it anchored out in the bay and they're desperate to get rid of it. After negotiating a price with it, we decided to make it ours, which led to the next problem, getting it home from St. Pete to Chattanooga, Tennessee. So let this epic adventure begin. We packed up everything and anything we could think of in my truck. My wife, father-in-law, and I hit the road to St. Pete. The plans are for my father-in-law to drive my truck back home after a few days.
Welcome to Florida.
Florida.
Florida, yeah.
Florida.
Yeah, we have our own language here though. So we don't speak English, we don't speak American, we speak Floridian.
Floridian.
We speak ocean, Gulf of America, and then welcome.
So this next few weeks, am I gonna become a Floridian?
That's it. We're gonna have you local address. This is the local address. This is my local village right here.
We are here. This next part was one of the worst parts of the trip. Moving all the stuff from the truck to the boat by dinghy. It took several trips through the sand, water, seagrass, plus it was hot.
If I go back where I was at and then it found there, I won't need it, but if I decide to go up the river, I'll need it.
Alright, we got the generator fired up on this thing. Let's see what kind of 120 volt stuff we got going on here. Got power here. Alright, so one of the first things I did was install one of the air conditioners I brought from home that I robbed out of the Silverton. Set it down in there, hooked up the wires that were there, and we're gonna see if it works. Alright, so sorry for the wind, but day one we traveled, got here, we got one air conditioner going. We have a nightmare of electrical. I don't know what's going on. They motored this thing here and I cannot get any of the batteries to do what they need to do to try to crank the engines over. So I'm still trying to battle that. I'm really tired today. It's been a long day, so we're gonna try this again tomorrow. We're just gonna chill out, have a beer. Tomorrow's another day. All right, good morning from our hotel room. So we did stay in a hotel last night. Boat is not anywhere near ready for us to stay on it. But our goal for today is to get it running and move it to the marina. If you're wondering why the boat is just floating out there and not in a marina, Afon and his uncle had both his boat and the trawler in a marina up to the point of Hurricane Helene. It didn't really wipe out the marina, but they ended up kicking all the boats out of there because everything had to be redone. So that's still kind of a problem around this area. There's a lot of boats just kind of anchored out because there's nowhere for them to go. However, there is a transient slip available, so that's what we're gonna do now and just pay transient slip fees. So our first stop for today is to go to West Marine and buy some batteries and some other knickknacks we need just to get this thing to run. Day 2. Recording you because we're at West Marine. Alright, we are back down here at the boat. Went to West Marine, got batteries, put the batteries in, and we got pumpkin and perky. So we did. After we installed the batteries, we got perky. Since we went with perky with this one, she started right up. Absolutely beautiful. Now how we got pumpkin.
Right, smoky. What now?
Come on.
We changed it. It's bad, not that. It ain't cracked yet.
Yeah, we got the generator. We got the generator charging the battery right now. It's the new battery. I don't know what's up with it, but it wants to run, but not quite. We're still got to work on that one just a little bit. All right, we have both pumpkin and perky are now running. All right, so I'm down here doing some things like that are missing off this boat, like a freshwater pump. The thing about this boat here is there's some good things and bad things. I mean, really the good things are the wiring and stuff like that isn't too awful crusty on it. Stuff that you would find on a normal saltwater boat, you just get a lot of crusting wiring, and it's not that bad. The bad thing is it's just old. You get like 30-40 years of just people all over the place on this thing, you know, whatever mechanic and everything else just doing things to it. So that's the only bad thing about buying older boats. They just been around for such a long time, and they just got so much stuff that people just had their hands on. Can you turn on the freshwater pump? Okay, it's pumping. Now I guess we need to go look for leaks. Alright, we now have running water. Important. So, this is what I was talking about, old boat problems and having lots of hands in it. This is a really nice new remodeled bathroom. We need a functioning toilet and a functioning shower. Toilet works when you push the button. There's no water pumping into it. I found a whole nother hatch of problems. All this in here needs some attention. So this is gonna take me hours to sort out. So I'm working on this toilet, trying to see why it doesn't suck up water. Pull the hose off that goes to the seawater. It's blowing instead of sucking. Go over here to the wiring, and it appears to be hooked up backwards. So the pump is rotating backwards. Let's just try to fix it and see if that makes it work. All right. We're gonna take some bets. We're gonna bet if there's anything left on the anode for the heat exchanger. We'll pull that out. What are we wagering? 0, half, or almost good?
0.
0. Good. I'm on 0.
So you sure it's not good? Is that what you said?
Check everything out.
Oh my. It is 0. 0 it is. So we need some anodes. That thing is like super clean. That right there is a miracle. I would not have expected that at all. Alright guys, this is day 3. Still staying in hotels. Day 2, basically just ran down a punch list of everything that needs to be done. A lot of boring stuff, a lot of hard work. Got the engines running. Really wasn't a big deal. They just needed some fresh batteries and they fired right up. No problem. They run great. I don't remember if I told you, but the boat was also kind of in the middle of a remodel, so there was a lot of new stuff on the boat, but not everything was hooked up. We had to get the aft cabin toilet going and get the shower going. So I ended up putting a new shower box in and a bilge pump in the rear, in the aft bilge. And while we were doing this, Afon's friend, Aaron, decided to take on the job of scraping the bottom. This was going to be like a 2-day ordeal to scrape the bottom of that boat. The bottom is really bad. I don't know if I got any actual pictures or footage of it, but there was 3 or 4 inches of mussels on the bottom of this boat from it sitting just for maybe a year without any attention. So today, I'm hoping we'll get the bottom job finished, wrap up some more knick-knack items on the boat, and get it moved to the marina, as we are tired of these cheap hotels. They are awful. I think the one last night we stayed in was fine. It's awesome, but there was no vacancy, and it's getting close to the 4th of July. So we're gonna run to West Marine and Harbor Freight and all that good stuff first thing this morning and dinghy that stuff back to the boat. That's also getting very annoying, and wrap up some odds and ends and get this thing to the marina. Alright, so day 3. Today on the list to do, I have to get the midship bilge pump installed, get the aft cabin air conditioning installed, and my wife and her dad are going to try to hot cut the mattresses to try to get them to fit properly in the beds. We got this bed and the one in the V-berth. They need to be trimmed down to fit. I didn't get much footage yesterday because we were just work. We have to get this stuff done. I can't spend a whole lot of time talking and filming and setting up cameras and stuff like that. But we did get all of the aft cabin bathroom accessories going yesterday, like the toilet, the shower, the sink. All the water stuff is working. They are still scraping the bottom of the boat. It's probably going to take them several more hours to get that done. However, we don't have a choice. We've got to take this boat to a marina today. The hotel fees are killing us, and it is such a pain in the rear end to dinghy from shore to here. And again, the reason why this boat is just anchored out here, there's really nowhere to dock around here still after the hurricane. This boat was docked in Sarasota Bay up to right after Helene. They didn't really get hit, but they got some surge water and wind and everything like that. They decided to close down that marina, kick everybody off the docks down there from what I was told, and they were completely redoing that entire marina. I think it was under new ownership or something. However, that left this boat and the Fawn more or less homeless with their boats, so they've been just anchoring down. His uncle started to get a little bit desperate to sell this boat, and that's the reason why we actually got it at a pretty decent deal. But however, I absolutely love this boat. I do. I genuinely love this boat. This is exactly what I'm looking for. All this little stuff that needs to be done to this boat is stuff I absolutely enjoy doing. I enjoy getting bilge pumps working, air conditioners working, water systems, yada yada yada. I love doing that stuff. That's why I like it. And I love these older boats because they're so much more roomier than all these modern cookie cutter bubbly boats, kind of like that cruiser's yacht we looked at. This boat is only a 43-foot boat, but it has like the cabin space and living areas of probably like a modern 50 or 60 foot boat. I will give you a tour of this boat. It's probably not worth it right now because I have just crap everywhere. But as soon as we get this thing over to the marina, I promise you a tour. All right, this is all on you. Get it right. You know how picky she is.
Yep.
I drew the line, so if it's off, it's my fault.
That's the reason Greg run down in the hole. Hey, I gotta install this bilge.
I'm working in the bilge. This is y'all.
You're in your domain. This has nothing to do with you.
I'm in my domain. I know what I'm doing, theoretically. Alright, so while they're back there hot knifing the mattress, I'm gonna be putting this bilge pump in. It's a complete nightmare mess down there. All those old bilge hoses, like this thing is so bad with rotten hoses. It's just, oh my god. You know, most of it is bilge pump hoses, but this is kind of like what we're dealing with. I mean, that used to be a rubber hose. Woo! Look at this. Original 1987.
What Anaconda is that?
Oh!
1987 Anaconda.
Looks like a big black turd. Alright, a lot has happened since you've seen me last. We've been working like crazy, running around everywhere, trying to get stuff done. We're getting ready to move the boat. I got the bilge installed, lots of little things done, cleaned up, a little bit organized. What has happened major since you see me last was we had a bad storm come through and it drug both of these boats about 1/8 of a mile. And we weren't here when this happened. The Fawn was here. They ended up having to cut the anchor loose more or less on this boat. So now what we have to do, we have to go retrieve the anchor and the chain. They put a buoy on it to keep it floating so you can find it again. But that's what we're gonna have to do. But either way, we are going to fire this girl up and we're gonna take her to the marina tonight. We got her completely untied. Retrieving the anchor. All right, we couldn't find the buoy. And the sailboat guy actually got it from earlier, from the storm. And he hollered at us, says, "Hey, I got your anchor." Woo! I thought we were losing several hundreds, possibly thousands of dollars worth of anchors and chains. Got it. All right, super nice guy. Let's get this thing to the marina. I'm a little nervous of the bridge. It says 18 feet. We did take the arch down just in case. Made it through that bridge. Oh, hang on. I gotta move a dinghy. Alright, you can go sideways now. Go backwards. Dinghy's drifting. Woo. Jump on the dock. All right, to cap off the end of day 4, or is it 3? I don't know. I'm so tired. Oh, anyway, today we got the boat to the marina. That's what we wanted to do. I'm a nervous wreck, big boat, unfamiliar waters. I think I'll be fine, especially, you gotta excuse me, no shirt on, it's really hot. I don't have all the air conditioners going yet on this boat. I have 2 more to install. Anyway, I feel like I'll be comfortable with this boat, kind of getting it out of this area in this marina. This marina is extremely tight. I had to have a fawn get me in, like, literally this much room in the front and this much room in the back on the dock we're on. Whew. So I'm probably gonna have to have him coach me out of here. I'm just not quite that comfortable with a boat this big, even though this boat is like only maybe 10 feet longer than what I'm used to. The boat feels like a freaking giant. It feels like a 50-foot plus boat. Anyway, successful day. Only thing that is somewhat concerning is I have a raw water pump that's leaking a little bit, and both injector pumps leak a little bit of diesel fuel. I'm gonna try to limp it home this way and worry about everything when we get home. Outside that, the boat seems to be pretty jammed up. Fires right up and goes. Flying into a storm. We got some weather on the radar right here we're going through. They're just right there.